Hello, I greet you. Thank you so much for having time for me. Now, kindly give me your attention and watch this video to the end. There is this press release purported to have been coming from the Volta Regional House of Chiefs. It is alleged that the president of the House of Chiefs called for the uh, removal of Asikuma Sogakope immigration post. This is published online by adomonline.com, and the source of the message is graphic.com.gh, and it reads: Volta Regional House of Chiefs demand removal of Asikuma Sogakope immigration post. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is at the tail end of the discussion. I want to read something to you here. He said what was even more annoying was how some of the unruly immigration officers sometimes held travelers hostage, insisting they spoke Twi to prove they were Ghanaians, adding that was an unacceptable way to profile a traveler. Quote, "We are not living in a police state, and so let us travel in peace," Togbe Teprehodo insisted. Now, when you read on, there are a lot of things how the chiefs has been treated. Some of the chiefs has been treated along those border posts. Now, who in this country would say that this is the first time this issue of citizenship alienation has been happening to we, the people that hail from this part of the country? Who will say that? There are instances of injustice done on our people. In 2020, at the Bui Down areas there, a whole community was reduced to ashes by authorities of the state. And if you watch the video, they claim that the people are Anglophone, they are Evers, so they should leave to their country. The members of parliament, voter caucus, make a delegation to the place to see what was happening, and that was all that they could do. Members of parliament, voter caucus, those NDC people that were crying, "Hey, we are all Ghanaians, we are all this, we are all this." The highest they could do was to visit the place, and that's the end. That same 2020, we saw how our people in other parts were prevented from acquiring a national ID. The excuse is that they are Evers, they are not Ghanaian, they are not going to allow them to acquire these IDs. They are from Volta region. Nobody says anything. Now, I want to let our chiefs know that we congratulate them for issuing this statement, but also to remind them that this inland border post at Sogakope and Asikuma has been there for several decades. And this ordeal, unless you speak Ewe, unless you speak Twi, if you are from any part of Togoland and they accosted you at the border or at those points and you are not able to speak Twi, then they say you are not Ghanaians. We know the history of our country. The only thing that we voted for in 1956 was to be in union, two-state nation. Togoland is not a colony of the British, so British did not grant us independence. Please pay attention to this and go back to the history and check. It is Gold Coast that was granted independence by Britain, and it is said after the Gold Coast has been granted independence, then there should be a union between Togoland and the Gold Coast. So Gold Coast was granted independence as Ghana, as communicated by by the United Nations Article 76B. And Togoland voted in their plebiscite to be in union. And when you read the Espinosa report, Espinosa is the head of the plebiscite commissioner that came to conduct the plebiscite for the United Nations. And in his concluding statement, he said the only relationship the plebiscite decided was to be in union, or was to form a union between the state of Ghana and Togoland. So if we are supposed to be in union, we need to have the union document published so that we look at it and know that it is said that unless we speak Twi, we are not Ghanaians in that union document. We want to see that union document. So we plead on our chiefs, the Volta Regional House of Chiefs. If you so care, because in the speech, there was a place that said that there's no secessionist agenda in the region anymore. I beg to differ. Or we, the citizens that are going through this ordeal decades now, we disagree on that point. The call for the separation of Togoland is not a secessionist agenda or a subversive agenda. It is not. It's a fundamental human right. In fact, if you look at the transition report and the discussion that went on at the fourth committee of the United Nations, everything is stated clearly there. Our country is not an integral part of the Gold Coast that was granted independence. If you look at the Ghana Independence Act of 1957, Britain states all the areas that are the crown colony, and Togoland is not a crown colony. So Britain did not grant us independence as part of Ghana, so that Ghanaians can now be integrating our country into theirs. And when ordeals of this nature we are forced to go through this, and when we speak, then they say go and arrest them because they are called for salvation. Those of you who have been labeling the Western Togoland call as secessionists, it is either you know the facts and you are doing a propaganda with agenda, or you better start learning what secessionism is about. Our country is not part. We are not an integral part of the Gold Coast. Britain did not conquer us in war as they did the Ashantis and brought them into the Gold Coast project. We did not sign any document with the British, as was done with the Northern Protectorate. Our country is a separate country on its own. The only relationship we are supposed to have with the British is to be under their trusteeship, to be nurtured. And the reason is that they came to destroy our country. Britain and France came to break our homes down, kill our people. So have this at the back of your mind. All those of you pundits, those who claim you know the history of Ghana, those you people, you are old but cannot speak the truth to power. Learn this. Nobody is calling for a salvation of any territories of Ghana. We are talking about Western Togoland. We are talking about the Togoland that was under British administration. And I want you to understand that Britain did not colonize Togoland. And until you publish the 1956 Union document for us to see who signed the document on our behalf, who determined that the name Togoland should be removed and replaced with Ghana, we need to see all these things. Every union has rules and regulations that governs it. Where is ours? That we are in this country and constantly, daily basis, go to any part of the country, our citizens have been labeled as aliens in this country. Worse things have been happening to our people. We are living in our country as slaves to those who are supposed to even be slaves. And everybody is looking unconcerned. And whenever we speak on this, then some of you go and sit somewhere, claim that you are the authorities of the country, of our part of the country, and you want to decide for us. I want you to understand one thing. The call for self-determination of a people is done by the people. No group of people can wake up and say there's no longer call for Western Togoland in this country and it will hold. Because you are not those people who started the call. It is the Homeland Security Foundation that started the call for self-determination for Western Togoland since 1994. And it is that foundation that is recognized internationally. So it is only the Homeland Security Foundation that have the right at this moment to say there's no longer call for Western Togoland. You can gather us anywhere as politicians or as chiefs or as anybody. It will not hold. If you think I'm lying, go and read the laws on self-determination and you understand. It's a people's right. It is not a right reserved for some people. You, our chiefs, we gave you the right and we respect you for that because our ancestors have respect for traditional authorities. But that doesn't mean if you go and work connive with with the selfish politicians, the children of our land that are now enjoying the largesse of the Ghanaian economy, doing those kind of things against us, we will allow you to also determine our future. No, the moment we spot that, we are not going to allow that to hold. So understand this and know. Demand the publication of the 1956 Union document over our country. Thank you.